Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over a full risk management plan that's going to stop you guys from getting liquidated ever. So if you think you like the sound of that, stick around, like, subscribe, and turn notifications on, guys. It really helps me build the channel. Okay, so if you're one of these traders that takes a position size like this, you say you're on Bitcoin, okay, and let's say you can enter a trade here, stop loss down here. Okay, and if you're one of these traders that goes, oh, I think I'll, choose 25x leverage for this one, and then you go, boom, 100% of your account buy. And some of you might be laughing at this, but a lot of new traders do this. They use their entire account, they choose the leverage, and then they just go 100%. They buy, they put the stop loss in, they don't know how much they're going to lose if the stop loss gets hit. Okay, they don't even know where the liquidation price is. There's a lot of things they're not taking into account. Okay, so if you're someone that does this, stop. You're doing it all wrong. And even if you've made some good gains recently, eventually you're going to get liquidated. You're going to blow up your account. No professional trader trades this way. So what you need is a risk management plan. What I've got here is a spreadsheet that I set up. Okay, we'll start with your account size. So let's say, nice round number, let's say you've got an account size of $10,000. What you should be doing is you should be risking, especially if you're a beginner, 1% of your account per trade. Okay, now I've got this, take a screenshot of this and have a look over it, but it just shows you over 15 trades how much you lose if you risk 1%, 2%, 5%, and so on. And as you can see, it gets bad pretty quickly if you're trading recklessly. Okay, but if you stick to 1%, after 15 trades, you're not even down $2,000. Okay, so it works out really well, and I recommend that everybody adopts this practice, especially if you're a beginner. If you're more advanced, you could do 2%, but honestly, there's no need. Let's have a look at how we calculate everything for a trade, and also how you manage the number of trades you've got going versus the amount of collateral you have to have in your account. So we'll start from scratch. We'll start with the trade that you're looking at making. Now, I'm not saying this is a good trade to take, it's just for example. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to calculate your position size. And for that, I'm going to use an app called Alpha Squeeze. I'll go over to my cell phone now and we'll go over that. Okay, so we're over here on Alpha Squeeze. This is only available on iOS. My voice will sound a little bit different, and it's just basically because my production skills aren't that great yet. Okay, so up the top here, you're going to put in your account size. Okay, so in this case it's $10,000. You're going to put in risk, which is 1%. Okay, pretty straightforward. You're going to put in your entry price, and then you're going to put in your stop price. Okay, we're going to hit the calculate button. Okay, it's going to give us all the information you need. Okay, max units, okay, and then your position size in US dollars. Those are the important ones. Okay, so we're back over here on the Bitcoin chart. You assume that you've entered your trade now. And so what the 1% risk means is that if the trade was to move against you, by the time it gets down to your stop loss, that would represent a 1% loss. So a loss of $100 if your account size was 10K. Plus there'll probably be a little bit of slippage there, all right, which is normal. But what happens if you don't have the $100 in your trading account? Okay, so let's go back over to the exchange, and you can see that I've got about $500 here. So let's say that you're in this trade, this hypothetical trade that we're talking about, okay, and it's going against you, and you've only got $50 in your account here. Okay, so what's going to happen is when it gets down to here, halfway through here, which represents a $50 loss to your account, it can't go any lower because you don't have the collateral to fund it, right? So what happens at that point is you get liquidated. Okay, so it's important to put on the correct position size, but then you also have to have enough collateral in your account to fund that position. So we're back over here on my spreadsheet now, and we're going to go over how much collateral you need in your account based on how many trades you've got on at once. Okay, and the easiest thing to do here is just set up a spreadsheet like what I've got here. So I'm going to go through this now. Go account size here of $10,000. It doesn't matter what your account size is. This will always be the same. Okay, you got 1% risk. It's $100. You're going to put in here the number of open trades you've got. Okay, so for the example that we were just using, you only had one. Okay, so you've got one open trade. Your base collateral, okay, is going to be 1 times $100. Okay, slippage allowance, I like to allow 10%, and
it's not often that you get 10% slippage when you get stopped out of a trade, but you want to allow quite a bit there, because sometimes when you get stopped out, the trade's running really, really fast and there can be quite a lot of slippage. Okay, so I just like to allow 10%. Okay, so equals 100 times 10%. Okay, $10 extra there. And then the total collateral requirement is going to be this plus this. Pretty simple. If you've got one trade on, you're going to have at least $110 in there. So the simple way to work out how much collateral you need in your account to fund your trades, given that you're risking the same amount for every single trade, 1%, and you're using a trade calculator, okay, it gets really, really easy. When you open up another trade, you're going to put 2 in here. Now you need to have $220, and this is minimum. Okay, normally you would have a bit more in your account. You want to always have plenty, but this is just so that you can know exactly how much you need as a bare minimum to make sure that you don't get liquidated. Okay, and then so on and so on and so on. Okay, when you get to 5, you need to have $550 in the account. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is how many positions you should have open. Okay, because not everyone should have 5 positions open. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't have any more than 2 positions open. Okay, and so what I like to do is I have this little chart over here. Okay, I've got a column here for high risk, medium, low, and risk-free trades. Okay, so I've got 4 trades here at the moment. Okay, I've got the one that you might have noticed over here. Okay, and over on FTX, I've got a trade on Theta, Cake, and Chili's. Okay, so this one's going good, this one's not going so good, and this one's going good. Okay, so that's all fine. So over here, Chili's is actually risk-free at the moment. So if we have a look at this, okay, I was a bit concerned that this has been hanging around this area for such a long time that we could get a bit of a dump off. I've actually hit my first target here, and then I've shifted my stop to here. So now, if we come back and hit my stop, I've already taken some profits, plus I'm at entry, so I'm not going to lose any money on that trade. So once I get a trade to a position where I'm not going to lose any money, I slide it over to the risk-free column. Okay, now my rules, and this is just for me, everyone will be different, is that I'm only allowed to have 1 high-risk trade, 2 mediums, and 3 low risks at any one time. Okay, so if I had all of these full, right, I then need to get one of my trades risk-free. Okay, and that doesn't mean that I just go shifting my stop or whatever to force it. I have to wait until the trade progresses enough, okay, but that's another issue. The point is that I need to get one of them risk-free before I can add another one in here, taking into account the maximums that I've allowed for each column. And that's just another way of managing your risk, okay? So I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, total of 6 trades going at once, meaning that I always need to have at least $660 worth of collateral in my account to fund my trades. Now, an important thing to remember here is that if you lose a trade, this is then going to become 9,900. Okay, you're not going to leave it on 10,000. That would defeat the purpose. Okay, so if you constantly reduce this every time you lose a trade, technically you're always 100 trades away from blowing up your account. Okay, it's like the opposite of compounding interest, all right? And the same applies when your account increases. Okay, if you make 100% profit on a trade, you put it up to 10,100, and then you can risk a little bit more, and so on and so on. So let's summarize this step by step. Okay, step 1, calculate position size based on account size and 1% risk. 2, always place stop loss first. That's key. Okay, if you place your trade first and then while you're trying to put your stop loss in place, it runs against you, you're going to get liquidated, right? So you place your stop loss first. 3, check you have enough collateral to fund your trades. And 4, make trades risk-free before opening new ones. Okay, you're going to calculate your position size, you're always going to place your stop loss, you're going to make sure you've got enough collateral to fund your trades, and you're going to make your trades risk-free before opening new ones. Now, the rules you set around that are up to you, but I would suggest you don't have any more than 2 trades open if you're a new trader, okay, so that's pretty important. I'm going to add one last one there. Adjust account size after wins and losses. Cool. And there it is, guys. If you follow all of these steps, you'll never blow up your account again. Thanks, guys. See you in the next video.